Welcome back to What's Haunting the Hearsts. I'm here with Benjamin. Benjamin, say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. So we just had our regular weekly Sunday morning breakfast. But I wanted to do kind of a new segment and kind of do a book review. I've read a few books, and I thought about being lazy and just jumping back to one of the books I've read earlier this year.
What's that?
Yeah. So I thought, and I read some good ones, and I probably will review them sometime in the future. But I just finished reading one last night that I really enjoyed.
I was sorting that.
Yeah. Ben's got a little bit of a cold, so. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. It's called The Magician's Nephew. Now, if you watch our podcast, you know I mentioned that I bought the entire Chronicles of Narnia series. And The Magician's Nephew, I made one error in that video. I said that The Magician's Nephew came out last, even though chronologically it was first. Yeah. So, The Magician's Nephew was actually written last, but it came out second to last. And it kind of brought you back to the beginning of everything. Like, before The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, there was The Magician's Nephew. And let me tell you something. I know they're kids' books. They're more advanced. Let's just put it this way. They're more advanced children's books than most children's books are. And it doesn't matter what age you are, you can easily enjoy C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia. They're quick reads. They suck you in, and you can read them, in one sitting if you cleared out some time. They have a real good rhythm to them. They're funny. But what did I think of The Magician's Nephew? Like I said, I haven't read the Chronicles of Narnia in over 20 years. However, I don't remember any of it. I mean, I remember The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe really well. I don't know if I've ever read The Magician's Nephew. I probably have. But let me tell you, really good book. The main characters are Polly, a young lady, and Diggory, a young boy. Diggory's mom is sick, and you can tell that she's not far away from death, and he's trying to process that through the whole story. And this story is just filled with all kinds of stuff that I would have loved as a kid. You had secret passageways in normal homes. It wasn't like they lived in some out of the ordinary house. It's just they lived in a line of houses, and all of these houses connect through like the attic, and they found this little passageway through the attic where they could explore each house. And there was this one house on the end that was deserted, and they thought they got to that, but they actually got to Diggory's uncle, Andrew, who is crazy nuts. And you kind of, at the first of the story, you start hearing about Diggory's, I'm just going to call it Uncle Andrew. You hear about Uncle Andrew and you think he's crazy. And, sometimes you never know what to think, because the book will kind of set you up and you're like, oh, there's this crazy guy. He hollers out in the middle of the night and he does all this stuff. And you're like, well, they're kind of making him sound crazy, but he's not going to be crazy. Uncle Andrew's crazy. That doesn't mean he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's crazy. And without throwing in too many spoilers, he's basically figured out something about the world of magic. And he tricks Polly and Diggory, and Polly gets sucked in to another world, or more better put, a world between the worlds. And from this stepping stone, you learn that there's all kinds of other worlds that they could go into. And there's this magic system that allows them to get in and out of these worlds. Well, in their exploring, they run into this world called Charn, and they meet the Queen of Charn, who had been in this great epic battle with her sister. And, thanks, Ben. She had been in this great epic battle with her sister, and in this battle, I'm going to spoil the whole book. But anyway, so you meet the Queen. And I think her name's Queen Jadis. But she is not basically, I almost said basically, she is what becomes the witch in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And she's a character. And she will not let Diggory and Polly leave without her going with them. And she plans to take over their world. And she causes some havoc in London. But they eventually get her out of London after she causes all this pandemonium. And they end up back in the world between the worlds, and they're trying to get her back to Charn. In this journey, they've brought back with them, instead of just bringing the witch, they bring Uncle Andrew and the cabbie who drove the hansom, basically the carriage cab from London. Bless you. And the horse. And the horse. Can you believe that, Ben? And that the cabbie drove. And so they try to go back to Charn so they can leave the witch, but they stumble upon the creation of another world. The very birth of this world. And they meet the creator, Aslan, the lion, who is, if you are unfamiliar with the Chronicles of Narnia, Aslan, allegorically speaking, is a picture of Jesus. So anytime Aslan comes into the picture, if you're a Christian, you say, oh, I know this guy. And it's just a beautiful story. And you get to see Aslan creating the world of Narnia. And it's beautiful, but all of a sudden, right from the beginning, as is in our world, right from the beginning of the creation of the world of Narnia, there's an evil, the witch, because they brought the witch with them. And it's a beautiful story. It's truly beautiful. You get to see animals created, and they can talk, and you have a mission that has to be completed. And then there's this beautiful line that really struck me, and then I'm going to be done, I promise. The mission involves getting this apple from a very special garden. Diggory, Polly, and the horse Strawberry, now the flying horse Fledge, go on this mission to get this apple. And you know what? I keep jumping back and forth between spoiling and not spoiling this book. But anyway, they go to get this apple. They have a confrontation with the queen. They are able to resist temptation, and they follow Aslan's orders and bring it back. And he keeps wanting to beg Aslan to heal his mother. We're talking about Diggory. Diggory wants to beg Aslan to heal his mother in his world. And Aslan said, this apple gives eternal life to everybody in this world, in Narnia. And then he whispers to him and he says, but if you take it back to your world, it won't give eternal life, but it will heal. So Aslan gets something done for the world of Narnia, but also saves a little for his friend Diggory to heal his mother. And there's a beautiful healing. But in the midst of this, Diggory's talking to other people, and he was like, I really want to ask Aslan if I could bring that apple back to home to heal my mother. And, and they're like, I really think I think he mentioned it to Aslan before the mission, and Aslan was like, oh, okay, but here's a mission I need you to do for me. And they were like, he was like, I'm sure he knows, and he's going to help. And they were like, I really think he likes to be asked. In so many words, that's the line. It was like, I do think he very much likes to be asked. And that's just this, boy, his nose is so red from having a runny nose. And that's just a beautiful picture of how Jesus wants us to talk to him and ask him things. Jesus knows what we want, but he wants us to express that. But The Magician's Nephew was a beautiful read. I'm going to read all the books in the Chronicles, but I'm going to take another book in between. And so the next book that I want to review is called Hyperion. I've been wanting to read Hyperion for such a long time. I started it this morning. Whenever I finish it this week, I'm going to bring out the review. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Ben, tell everybody bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We love you. Thank you for watching.